Hi, my name is Donna Swanson, and I'm the Executive Director and co-founder of Focus Center for Autism in the Fresh Start School. And with me I have...
Hi, I'm Megan Harris, the Director of Educational Services at the Fresh Start School.
The Fresh Start School has been in existence now for 2 years. It's an approved special ed program by the state of Connecticut, and it's something that we're very, very proud of. And Focus Center for Autism has been around for 18 years, providing services to the individuals on the spectrum, or as we like to say, creatively wired and socially challenged. And this episode that you're going to be watching is called what, Megan?
It's called Walk in My Shoes.
And how did that come to be?
Well, it came to be because our art teacher actually had this project that we were working on, and she had the kids actually make a mold of their shoe. And the whole concept behind that was, what is it like to walk in your shoes or walk in someone else's shoes? So their actual physical shoe that they took a mold of, they got to decorate all about them.
Right.
And those are hanging all around our building. So we went with that idea, and because the kids really got into it and they wanted to share what it is like to walk in their shoes, and they had a lot to say. And so that's where the idea had come from. And
what did they do with the soles of their, because it was a two-part art class. So they made the shoes, and then the second part of the art class, they did what?
Yep, so they created the sole of the shoe that went around, all about them. So anything that they love to do or what it could be like to walk in their shoes, they wrote along the edge. And if they weren't into writing, they could draw it. They could get creative with that. One of our kids loves numbers, so his has a lot of numbers that are very significant and meaningful to him.
So that's the interesting thing, is to find out what it really is like to walk in their shoes, what is interesting to them, and also what their worries are and the things that they're concerned about. You'd be amazed at what goes on in their heads, and if you just take the time to understand them and get to know them, and walk in their shoes. Right. They have so much to say, and they really want you to know more about them because they want to fit into this world, and this is one way of spreading awareness and helping you understand. They were very proud of this project, and I think all the staff had fun trying to guess which shoe was whose. Yeah. And pretty much we got them on because we know those kids, and it was a lot of fun to be able to do that. That is one of the specialties of Focus in the Fresh Start School, is that we do know our kids, and we know how far to gently nudge them and when to give them the space that they need to be, because if you don't have a customer, nothing's going to happen. Yep. You have to build the relationship first. Right. Absolutely.
Megan and Donna make a great point. It is all about the relationship and understanding one another. Nate and Dylan share their thoughts on the importance of empathy and the concept of walking in their shoes.
I learned back in the days that empathy means you're walking in someone else's shoes, and I'm not saying you have to, but I think it's kind of important to know how we feel when it comes to our future and what we want to be, and how we want to live life to the fullest. And I think it's kind of important.
It's easier to ride the road of life together. It's easier to build a tower together, and you can make yourself better and the others better by living your life happily and living your life not alone.
Let's hear from our students about what it's like to walk the road of life in their shoes.
So tell us about your shoe and this project about walking in your shoes.
I think I just kind of went all over the place with my shoe. Like, I started off with just kind of like a blue and red, because I wanted it to be kind of like my favorite colors. And I put a number 1 on here, like number 1, because I'm number 1. I put one in the front and the back. I didn't really know why I put that on. I just thought it kind of looked cool. I added a couple of, some of them are drawings and some of these are stickers, but I put on some of the things I like. I put ice cream on there. I put a cake in the middle because I like cake. There's pizza. There's a $sign because I like money. I think that's a cookie. Yeah, this is a cookie. And that you can't tell what this is, but it's supposed to be kind of like a YouTube play button because I'm really into YouTube. And I also put my phone right there because I love my iPhone. Yeah, and I put some stars and balloons on it. It kind of just looks like kind of like a birthday shoe, like a 1-year-old would get, and that's wasn't what I was planning on making. But yeah, I still think it kind of looks okay for a shoe, and I also add some black laces. So yeah, if you step into my shoes, you're gonna expect a lot of art-related things like drawing and making. I like making music, drawing, baking, a lot of right-brained side things, and yeah.
What do you think something that what would be something that someone would learn if they walked in your shoes for a day? What is something that you think someone would find surprising about you?
I think you should just watch how far you go with your creativity sometimes, because creativity is of course not a bad thing, but you gotta know when to use it right. Like, for example, a lot of times I'm kind of creative with my humor, both in a good way and a bad way. Like, sometimes I can be funny, but sometimes I use my comedy skills in inappropriate times. Like that, but whether it's good, bad, or good, you're gonna expect me to do, like, you're gonna say a lot of funny things and try to make people laugh, because that's how I think friends are. You make them laugh and they like you. If you walk in my shoes, you're gonna expect some times to be very hard. Like, you're gonna feel like you can't do this and you can't do that because you don't think you're good enough to. But I think personally, if you're in if you're in a mess or something, or if you really just can't do it, I think you just gotta put as much effort as you can into what you're doing if you want to be successful at anything, whether it be school or a job or just doing something at home. I just kind of think that maybe if you want to be me, like if you walk in my shoes, you got to put a lot of effort into what you do, or else you're not going to be successful. And what's something else?
So you're saying that you feel you have to put a lot of effort into your day?
Yeah.
There's a lot of energy.
Yeah, you just got to kind of get used to the day, because for me, every day it's kind of hard for me to wake up sometimes. You gotta get out of the door, you gotta get ready, and you're gonna wish that you were at home. Like when I started school, like in 9th grade, when I had to wake up really early, I hated that fact, and I thought I wasn't gonna be able to. I thought I wasn't gonna be able to have a good day at school because of my behavior in the morning. But I personally think that if you're just like bad in the morning, or you can't feel like you can't do anything in the morning because you didn't get enough sleep or anything, I don't think that's possible. Like, I've learned from this school that thinking negatively is never the best option, and just thinking about it on a negative side is kind of like a bad way to get yourself, you know, into trouble. And really, I just think that in order to be me, if you start out the day rough, don't think that it's going to be rough. Like, just clear out all those bad things in your head and just think about the things that are positive, and it's most likely that your day is going to be successful.
Next, we'll see some of that creativity in action.
So how do you guys feel about art in general as part of your education?
I mean, not really. For me, I didn't like art before, so I'm not really liking art now.
Art is important and amazing.
Yes, it is. Why? That's a lie.
Because it just is.
That's a lie.
But we kind of have two different types of students, right? Like, Gabe, you really enjoy math and science.
Math!
And Alex, you really enjoy the arts.
Mm-hmm.
And that's totally okay, right? So for you, Alex, what is it that you enjoy about art?
There's like a history behind it, and like there's different stories because it like reflects the person's feelings about something, and it kind of resonates with me. Yeah, I don't know why. I just think like different people are interesting. You just gotta get to know them, and you know them by looking at their art, kind of like a little story, a little narrative.
Now we will look at Alex's art and learn about his story.
All right. So Alex, you've made a shoe as well.
Oh yeah, I have.
And which one is yours?
This one.
That one.
Yes, that is my shoe.
So, what inspired you to create this shoe?
Oh, well, I guess, well, the way I designed it, I guess I didn't really go for like too much of a color change. Mostly just like splatter and stuff like that. Yeah, I thought it would be a little unique to like splatter it with a bunch of stuff.
I like that. Did you draw inspiration from any of your artists that you follow?
Oh, I forget his name now. But
Jackson Pollock?
Jackson Pollock, that's the one. Yeah, I was inspired by him a bit, yeah, when I was doing this. Yeah.
And so the purpose of the project was what's it like to walk a day in my shoes or stand in my shoes.
And that's why we wrote these words around our shoes, like around the rim of it, just like little adjectives to explain what like our interests are, or like nouns and adjectives, but like how we are and our attitudes and things like that.
So I'm seeing concentrated, which I definitely see from you. You're definitely a determined type of guy, which is actually the next word that you have after that. And then you also have spicy, which I think is
spicy.
funny. And what does that allude to?
I think I was just thinking of like some type of personality of mine, I guess.
You definitely have a strong sense of humor, an awesome sense of humor.
I was also hungry.
Do you like spicy foods?
It depends. I noticed that sometimes food is pretty bland, and I think a little spice goes well with it.
It's like life, right?
Yeah, it's like life.
You also have nature up here and mindful.
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to say about that?
Yeah, I feel like sometimes you just gotta, be mindful of nature, or just like be mindful of like your emotions, just to like help yourself out. Because like if you don't really think about it too much, then you're just gonna lose control of your emotions, I think. Yeah.
And you practice mindfulness, right?
Mm-hmm.
What is something that people can expect or learn if they had the chance to walk in your shoes?
Well, they know that
Probably in the living room.
Sometimes I'm very anxious, but when I get to know a person, it's less of a hassle to like talk to that person. I'm also just like very concentrated on like what to do during the day. It's like, oh, what do I do first? Like I have to think of like a schedule in my mind, and then act on that. So yeah. So
you think that by looking at you, you wouldn't think that you're somebody that experiences all this anxiety throughout your day. But if someone were to step in your shoes, they'd realize, wow, I have a lot of worries and concerns. And it must be exhausting, I would imagine, to go through that all day long. I think that's really insightful. I have to say, when you first came, you were definitely, I could see that you were very anxious because you were quiet a lot. But now I see that you're becoming outgoing and becoming a mentor and a leader in speaking. It's such a great gift that you're able to use your words to tell us that this is what anxiety looks like. It might not look like anything to you or anyone else, but really it can be really hard on the inside. And I think that's really important for people to understand.
It sure is.
Yeah. So thank you for sharing that.
No problem.
Now we hear from Nina.
Can you tell us about your shoe?
Yes. My shoe is about what, let me see. My shoe is about what describes me, like rainbows, SpongeBob SquarePants, Fairly Odd Parents, Teen Titans Go, Happy Metal, Florida, Love, Hearts.
Nice. So those are all about you, right?
Yeah.
So what is it like to walk in your shoes? Do you know that saying?
What's it like to be me? I like to walk in my shoes.
Well, I know that something special about you in shoes. What is it that you want to be when you grow up?
I want to be a foot doctor when I grow up.
You want to be a podiatrist, right? Foot doctor?
Right, yeah.
What makes you want to be a foot doctor?
Yeah. So, what makes me want to be a foot doctor?
Yeah, or why would you want to be a foot doctor?
Because I like to operate on people's feet.
You do?
If that ever happens, I like to operate on people's feet.
Was there a foot doctor that inspired you to be a foot doctor?
Yes, I went to a foot doctor, and that foot doctor that foot doctor made me want to be a foot doctor, and I didn't know it. So before that, I didn't know what I wanted to be, and I didn't know what I wanted to be, but I wanted to be a foot doctor. I didn't know it.
But now you know.
But now I know.
You know what I've noticed about something walking in Nina's shoes? Is that you choose to be happy, right?
Right.
Can you tell us about your choice in being happy all the time?
My choice for being happy all the time is to always be happy and not be sad, not be mad, not be frustrated or anything. I don't usually do that anymore. I am always happy. Sometimes I get excited, sometimes I get thrilled. So I'm sometimes excited and I'm sometimes thrilled.
But are you ever sad sometimes?
No.
No?
Sometimes I get wet eyes or nothings.
And nothings are when your eyes become wet and they roll down, right? Some people might call them tears, but to you they're nothings. Like when you're feeling nothings. How do you stay happy all the time?
What's it like when I always am happy?
How do you stay happy all the time? What's your secret?
I'm going to go in the other room because I lost the fan about 15 minutes ago and I think I left it in the closet.
How do I be happy all the time?
Yeah. Because you said, when I turned 13, I decided I'm going to be happy forever.
No, when I am a teenager, I will always be happy forever.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I said what I said. But when I am a teenager, also known as when I am 13, I will be happy forever. I was going to be happy forever. And now I'm happy forever. When I was 12, I was also happy. When I was 12, I was happy forever too.
What's it like to be Nina? What do you want people to know about you? About what it's like to be you?
I like to to spread the word of love.
Yes, you do. And you're always inspiring us to do that. And to be happy, right? Even when life's tough. Because you make that choice. And that inspires us, Nina.
Yeah.
What a beautiful message from Nina. We could all use more love and happiness in our lives. Now let's take a walk in RJ's shoes.
Tell me about your shoe.
Well, it's just like I obviously have a big foot, and just like I just like this shoe because like it just like reminds me of just like it's just like throwing a paint on the ground or something. It's just like pretty cool.
So the purpose of the art project was to show people what it's like to walk a day in your shoes. Is there anything about that shoe that reminds you of you?
Blue is about my eyes in the sky.
Nice. And what about the red splatter everywhere?
The red is just, I don't know, it's just popped up in my head.
Nice. So what is it like to walk a day in RJ's shoes?
Creative and fun.
Creative and fun. So if I were to wake up one day and I was living my life as RJ, what is something that you think I would learn about you?
That I'm a very energetic kid.
Mm-hmm. And what helps you with that energy? Because it can be hard for you to sit still during the day, right?
I just like mostly like take breaks outside and just like get all my energy out.
So it's really important for you to have active breaks where you can play soccer, run around, be active.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter how cold it is outside, right?
Yeah.
Or if it's raining.
It doesn't matter
or
what
snowing.
it is.
You got to get moving, right? So what is something else do you think I would learn about you?
That I'm a very creative kid.
And what is there anything that you want to share about yourself that you think that people would find interesting or you want people to know about you?
That I'm like an amazing kid and just like full of surprises.
We have one more amazing student, Jack, and he's got a lot to say about his stinky shoes.
My shoe has different colors. It's orange, red maroonish, and red and dark red, purple, blue, green, and I said orange. And I wrote Jack Tanner on it because that's me.
That's your name, right?
And I taped it before I colored it with paint, and it stayed really well. I wasn't sure at first before I did it, but I got well with it, and I did it. And
so what
also some of the things that I like, you got to draw on this side.
And what did you write?
I wrote numbers. I also love numbers, and Happy Gilmore with Bob Barker in golf.
And tell me about your numbers.
I'm up to 28,500.
And what did you start from?
0.
So you started from, I almost said the letter, the number 0, and you went all the way up to how many?
I went up to 28,500.
28,000, and you're still going,
the last
right?
time I saw you, I passed 800 numbers the last time I saw you.
That was just
I told
the
you
other day.
27,700. I'm on 28,500. So I passed 800 numbers.
Holy moly.
Holy moly guacamole.
And you do that to relax, right?
Yeah.
You just like to write numbers and you do it in many different colors. I see here that you did some of these numbers.
No, those aren't the numbers. That's the date.
Oh, that's the date. Oh, I can see that.
Because the day I did it was the date.
But what about this 1339?
Oh, yeah, those are the numbers. And I put a little sticker right there. Still, I imagine it's still there because it would have fallen off because it's not so sturdy up there.
Oh, yeah. So you lost something?
Yeah.
In your shoe?
I don't know how it got on the ceiling.
Well, we put it up there. So.
And I have colorful laces.
So how does that represent you as a person?
A great person.
Yeah, you are a great person.
And they're colorful laces, and they're different colors: red, yellow, orange, purple, blue, green, and sort of pinks in there also.
It's beautiful.
But it's blended in with other colors, and it's all taped together so it will hold. And I did great on this.
You did do great. So what is it like to walk in Jack's shoes? What is a day in the life of Jack like?
To walk in my shoes? Okay, let me think over that. I have stinky shoes, and I want to walk in them.
So if I woke up one day and I was Jack, I think I would be feeling pretty silly a lot of the day, right?
Yeah, you'd probably put on shoes that bounce all over the place.
Right. So sometimes when you're silly, though, what is
I'm
that?
just being silly.
Sometimes when you're silly, what is that really hiding? What emotion is that?
No,
hiding?
the real emotion you have when you're making up something that really you can't happen because you can't fit in your own shoes. Because how you can't even stick your head in your shoes.
Right, but sometimes when you're silly, it's because you're nervous, right?
Yeah.
Are you nervous right now, or are you just being silly to be silly?
Nervous and silly.
And you're nervous because of the camera, right?
I don't really care about it. It's just a little exercise machine.
So that's your way of coping, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes it can be a little bit too much, right?
Yeah.
So we're working on that.
Yeah.
But you're doing a good job. And
Thanks.
I'm really proud of you for coming on camera because you were so nervous about it.
Yeah.
You did such a nice job talking about your shoe.
Thanks.
You did great.
That's our show. For more information, you can visit us on Facebook at Focus Autism and at our website at www.focuscenterforautism.org. And one more thing.
Stay tuned because you just don't know what will come up next.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.